Welcome back. Well, it's a hat-trick for the Democratic Alliance. It's now gained control of the capital city, Tshwane. Of course, yesterday it won Johannesburg and Ekurhuleni, but not by itself. It has support from other political parties that actually voted for their speakers and mayoral candidates. Well, ActionSA's Herman Mashaba joining us now in studio to talk about all of the behind-the-scenes moves. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. So you ended up giving the DA support when it came to their candidates for speaker and mayoral positions. People are still asking why.
Well, Shahan, what was critical here was to really decide whether we allow the ANC to govern these municipalities or not. There's a big decision that we really had to make over the weekend, because when the DA started negotiating with us 2 weeks ago and dropped us at the last minute on Saturday, I smell something. That the DA is actually interested in giving these municipalities to the ANC, because if we are going to, all of us as the DA and all of us voting in our separate ways, so obviously and automatically ANC was going to get these municipalities. And when I look at the trend over the last 2 weeks on how DA negotiated with us in total bad faith, including what I call betrayal, and betray us at the last minute, knowing very well that we don't have any other option. That's what they thought. Yeah. And yesterday morning I got up and I said, no, I'm not going to give this municipalities to the ANC. I then called EFF. I said, colleagues, I know I'm a political illiterate, but we've got a huge challenge on our hands. DA's got a plan to give these municipalities to the ANC. Can you guys assist? Because I've been following trends over the last few days that you are unhappy with the ANC. As you know, I am unhappy with them. The mandate that I've received from ActionSA voters all along from day one was the removal of ANC. I said, would you guys please support us? Yeah. Let us force DA to actually continue running this, and we can deal with them afterwards. Yeah. And fortunately enough, EFF accepted. Then I had to then take our Senate into confidence, call an emergency Senate meeting to say, guys, I've got a proposal which EFF has accepted so that we can save this country from this criminal enterprise called ANC. And that's really what happened. We went in, DA was completely shocked. Instead of celebrating yesterday, they were stunned. Yeah. And today, I've just come from Tshwane. And
did you put them in a corner?
No, did not put them in a corner.
Because
for me, South Africa first. Right? We've got to save our country from the ANC in a democratic manner, and we used our democratic structures to ensure that we don't have ANC government in our metros any longer.
You know, given the fact that the DA has said lots about the EFF and ActionSA, and the way you went into this, because it wasn't a formal coalition agreement, you're still going to act as opposition members in council, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And if the DA pushes a pro-rich budget and you don't approve it, what happens then?
Well, I think we've made it really very clear the last 24 hours that we are ready, particularly for us as ActionSA. Right now I can speak on behalf of ActionSA. We are ready and willing to talk to the to the DA. If they can actually think about the country first, come back to us in good faith this time. And I actually made it clear this morning throughout that my next set of negotiations with the DA must be recorded, because I've learned the hard way. With the DA, you have a meeting with them now. 5 minutes later, they sing a totally different song. So I don't really trust them, and they must never think that our votes are a gift to them.
Yeah. So you could pull support if need be, if these talks that happen now are not the way you want them to end.
Well, absolutely. It'll be unfortunate, and then DA has to really explain to people of South Africa, because they've always committed to unseating the ANC, but they say something, but then go and do something totally different. So this time, our constitutional democracy allowed us to put them in a corner to protect South Africa.
So you did put them in a corner, you say so?
Yes.
Tell me something then. How is this agreement in the interest of South Africans when you could it's not a stable coalition government, right? Because that's not what it is. You could go back in there in the next council meetings or in a couple of months and say, no, we have no confidence in this mayor. We want a motion of no confidence, and then we see them removed. We have the same situation like we had in Tshwane and Nelson Mandela Bay. How is that in the interest of South African citizens?
Look at it, Shahan, and I think South Africans, fortunately, are not fools. South Africans are hard-fought with ANC. And one thing for sure for us as ActionSA, we've proven beyond any reasonable doubt, we are the only party committed, and we've been unapologetic about this, committed and capable of unseating the ANC. And we did this with our electoral results, historic. Created havoc for the ANC in all the areas. Be Soweto, Alexander, here in Sandton and everywhere else. We're the only political party that has got that kind of support. We made history. We're the first political party in this country that have now caused massive damage to the ANC. The 3 metros are now gone. I'm now from Tshwane. I made it clear to our caucus. I said, you are going to vote for the DA, and obviously ANC saved themselves from the embarrassment, and things went smoothly. So at least South Africa is now saved from this criminal enterprise called ANC. Now it's up to the DA. Is South Africa without ANC not what all of us want? Most of us, maybe if some of them, what most of us want. And majority of South Africans, they are saying they've had enough of ANC. ActionSA has played a key role in destabilizing ANC. Now, DA must understand and forget about the arrogance. They don't have the
Is that possible, though? Because you had talks with them, the EFF had talks with them. I don't know if
it's
that's
almost
impossible.
in fact, you cannot really guarantee with the DA. That's why I've always said, for me, they're habitual liars, which is really very unfortunate. They've lied so many times that we've got to keep trying. We can't give up on our country.
So you put,
I'm not prepared to give up on our country.
You put liars in charge, basically, because that's what you're saying.
Well, no. They are not. If they're not going to really honor their commitment to people of this country, within the next few months they'll be out of power or go into government with the ANC, because that's what they wanted. So this actually it's going to be a test whether DA is going to go in bed with the ANC at whatever cost and whatever you and I think about the ANC, because the only way that they can be saved is going to be the ANC, not ActionSA.
Yeah. So when you go into these negotiations now with the Democratic Alliance, in order for you to support their visions for these 3 key metros in Gauteng, what are you going to say to them? What do you want as ActionSA? And you say you come with the EFF. What are you going to say to them? Well,
one thing I've said to them that if we're ready, my phone is actually ready. As soon as they call for a meeting, I'm available. But one thing that I'm asking them to do is that because they were not voted by ActionSA on our own, they've got to get us into a meeting with the EFF. And the reason why, Shahan, and I want South Africans to know, is because DA, we requested, more especially the first 1.5 weeks, asking them to say, we're a multi-party coalition. Please stop talking to us individually, because you keep lying from one to the other. Until early last week, we managed to get Dr. Connie Mulder from the Freedom Front Plus to be the mediator. And you're most welcome to talk to Connie Mulder from the Freedom Front Plus on the frustration we receive from the DA. We are not making any progress, and including the last meeting we had with them, a proper one on Friday.
Yeah.
And after that meeting on Friday, we all issued a statement. They were refusing for us to issue a statement of what we discussed, not anything.
Yeah.
We said, if you are not prepared to be part of the statement, we are going to release it anyway, because we are not lying. We have the responsibility to inform society what transpired. Yeah. They agreed with us and signed off. But what they then did after they signed off the statement, they said, please, no one must say anything to the media until such time that we come back to you, because we are going to consult with our FedEx. The latest we'll come back to you is Sunday, 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And then, Shahan, what happened Saturday morning? There's John Steenhuisen. telling us everything as if he's never had any discussion with anyone, that they are going to be fielding their own candidates, and all the other parties that we're talking to, they can go to hell. I think this is something that we took really in
I get what you're saying, but for me, it's just that because you have so much distrust in the EA, I'm finding it hard to understand why you would give them support. I know you're saying it's to get rid of the ANC, but I'm still questioning whether it's still in the interest of South Africans. So, tell me, Mpho Phalatse, she has great plans for the city of Johannesburg. She even has a plan for Alexandra, right? Which has been a problem area for the ANC for years. You've spoken about it as ActionSA as well. You were in that position as a DA mayor at one point. You said you left because they were only wanting you to focus on the rich areas, the rich suburbs. How is Mpho Phalatse going to have her agenda work in the city when you struggle to do the same thing?
Well, I think this is Mpho's problem that she has to really deal with, is with the DA leadership. We are willing to work with them to ensure that we can serve residents of the city of Johannesburg. The DA must understand that they are running a minority government. They don't have the outright majority. They will not really be able to really form a stable government when they have an opportunity with parties that have demonstrated. We are not just really talking. We demonstrated by voting for them without them asking for our vote, because we wanted to ensure that we can protect our country from the ANC looters. And that's something that we feel proud for having achieved. But now, DA needs to understand that, please don't come out with your kind of superior morality and standards. Come and talk to us. Let's sit down as adults, as patriots who love this country. Let's see if we can put a budget together that can serve the residents. If they fail to do this, then for Shahan, I would have tried. We would have really tried.
So you guys will push the pro-poor agenda and approach to Mpho Phalatse actually governing Johannesburg?
Yes, and I also want to make it really very clear that government that we're going to be part of is not going to be ActionSA or DA government. It's going to be a multi-party government. I think that's something that I think DA must obviously, when they approach us, they must approach us with a full understanding, because no one has got an outright majority. So it's not going to be a DA government or ActionSA government. It's going to be a multi-party government that's running these three metros. So if they're not really prepared to accept that, they don't even have to worry to contact us.
Last question, because of your position and history in this position. How are these three DA mayors going to manage? Are they going to be controlled from the top like little puppets, or can they do what they wanted to do, what they promised citizens?
Well, I'm afraid, I think if I look at my own personal experience with the DA, I feel sorry for them, particularly Mpho Phalatse. I worked with her. She worked very well as an MMC of health and social development, hardworking public servant, but unfortunately, the new leadership of DA needs to really be brought down to South Africa, to the new South Africa. If they've got that mentality of 1652, we're going to have serious challenges. And I think we will do everything possible to protect Dr. Phalatse and the other mayors to make sure that we operate in a new South Africa, 27 years into a democracy, failed dismally by the criminal enterprise called ANC. So we are not going to really allow any arrogance to really be part of this new dispensation going forward. All
right. Thank you so much for your time. I know you've had a long day and it's not over yet, right?
Absolutely.
Herman Mashaba, leader of ActionSA. At such interesting times, of course, we just heard the breaking news story that Random Williams has been elected mayor of Tshwane. He's, of course, representing the Democratic Alliance. And we'll get more reaction throughout the evening right here on South Africa Tonight.